Hey everybody, what's happening? Hey, it's James. Back once again. I have more time than usual these days, so might as well get back on the VC and show some records. Yeah, just sharing music and discovering music, talking about it. Show some things I've purchased, and I could say sort of recent, because as early as yesterday, some new things, and some things as far back as, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 months. So I'll get right into it. Ditch the preamble rambling. So the first one is something I got yesterday, and I just finished listening to this, and this is amazing. Paternoster is the band, Austrian band. This came out in '72. This is completely unique. I don't know. They're 4-piece. I don't know if it's. I wouldn't put it in the prog category because it's so unique. Very plodding, slow songs with the guitar organ interplay. It has this sort of eerie, grim effect to it with the production, and also with the vocals. It's very dark and melancholy, and just the whole production. It almost sounds like it is on the verge of being like a horror soundtrack, but not in a cheesy way at all. It's really good music. The guitar has this sort of echoey effect to it. Really interesting, good record. Paternoster is the band out of Austria. Really interesting album. I love it. Next one is, I just got this, hasn't even opened yet. I still have it sealed. This is the Karin Krog compilation on Light in the Attic. Sorry for that glare, because that shrink. This is a double, and this came out a few years ago. My buddy just recently got it, and I had seen it for years, and just him mentioning it, that he got it, all of a sudden I wanted it, and I found it on a very slash price online, and had it shipped over here. Karin Krog, and it's called Don't Just Sing is the name of that one. I've always been interested in Karin Krog. I obviously don't have any of her work, and I've never really even heard it. I know she's a legend too, so really looking forward to diving into this one when the right time comes around. Karin Krog collection on Light in the Attic is that one. There's the back. Next one I got kind of a while ago. Let me take this off. This is Steve Douglas. The shrink is still on here. This is called Music of the Cheops. Here's him on the back in this pyramid. So this is Steve Douglas. This was recorded in 1976, actually at one of the pyramids in Egypt. And it says here, the first music ever recorded in this mysterious ancient monument. It's just him on solo flute. So you can imagine, solo flute played in a piano. It talks about how he was in there with candles going. It must have been haunting. Playing music in the king's chamber, a room of polished granite, 34 feet long, 17 feet wide, and 19 feet high. Recorded February 10th, 14th, and 15th, 1976 in Giza in Cairo. Really nice record. You can imagine what flute music sounds like in an Egyptian pyramid. That's what it is, and this was cheap. This was, I think, maybe $6. Yeah, this is it was on his own label. Yeah, 1976, Steve Douglas. Next one is this band Grannie. This is an interesting album. So this guy Phil Newton in 1971 had this band called Grannie in England. It never came out at the time. The band, they put together a bunch of copies, sold them. But the whole thing fell apart, and it says here, Phil Newton, the founder, he died alone at age 51, hounded by debt collectors attempting to repossess his house shortly after he had become aware that his LP had been rediscovered and was reaching a new and appreciative audience, who began to acclaim it as one of the greatest early 70s hard rock albums. So one of those kind of tragic tales is he died before he could fully savor the fact that 40 years later or so, this record was getting wider appreciation. So the band's called Grannie. This was recorded in '71. On the back here, it says it's likened to Wishbone Ash, Argus, and Led Zeppelin 4. And that's a really good description. It does sound a lot like Wishbone Ash Argus. It has hard rock, but not heavy, and these sort of thematic rock tracks. It sounds, part of it sounds a little slightly dated, but part of it sounds fresh too. So it has some like Wishbone Ash, some like hard rock elements, but some of these sort of more acoustic pastoral elements. There he is right there. Grannie is the band. Yeah, totally different thing here. This is Michael Roques, a French musician. This is a jazz record. Here's him on the back, if you can see that. Should have taken this thing off here. There he is. This is French jazz from 1983. I just went for this because I'm always interested in European jazz, and it was fairly inexpensive at a local store. It was recorded in '83, and sometimes jazz in the '80s doesn't interest me, but I went for it. They're all original songs by him. I have to listen to this again because I remember on first listening it sounded a little not that good. So usually the first time can mean something or not something. This is on the Chorus label, but yeah, maybe if I hear, you know, sometimes timing is everything. So maybe if I put this on at the right time, it'll hit me. It's a quartet. He plays flute and sax, tenor and soprano with piano, bass, and drums. Yeah, that's that one. So I got to give that another listen. Next one, another one I need to give another listen. This is Rolf and Joachim Kuhn and the Mad Rockers. There's that one. This is recorded in '68 with Ralph Kuhn, Joachim Kuhn, Gunter Lenz, and Stu Martin on bass, and then Volker Kriegel on guitar. And that sold me because I love Volker Kriegel. Anything he's on. I have to give this another chance because I remember in the first listening I wasn't that impressed too. It was a little, on the back it says it's called free rock in the notes. I don't know if that means anything, but I'll have to give this another try. Sometimes things, you know, you listen at the right time and it feels right. I'm sure, I know this is a reissue. It's on, oh yeah, it is. It's on this Goody label. I know they reissue even some blues and some things. So yeah, that's that one. Next one, this is a cool record. This is Julia Kent. There's a cover of that, or the cover of that. And this is called Asperities, Asperities. You can see that there. So Julia Kent plays cello. Modern day, she has maybe 3 or 4 albums. I randomly discovered her, just listening to stuff online. But she plays cello, and there's electronics on here. So it has that haunting cello vibe, but with electronics as this atmospheric thing. So maybe this can be considered experimental. It's a ambiguous term sometimes, but this is a cool record to have on. Julia Kent, cello player, and she has other albums out there too. And this was recorded in 2015 on the Leaf label. Yeah, Julia Kent. Next one is, this is a fairly well-known album, Hatfield and The North. I think this is originally on Virgin. This is a reissue, some kind of weird reissue. There's that. But this, if you don't know this album, it's kind of a combination of like progressive music with folk elements too, maybe Canterbury elements. I don't sometimes quite know exactly what that means. Really nice record, different. Hatfield and The North is that one. Moving on down. So this one here is a quote recent, but when I say recent, Dyke and the Blazers. This is a collection. We Got More Soul on. This is on the BGP label. And the reason why I say this is recent is I actually have had this for a few years, but I forgot about it until very recently. And so it was almost like I just got it. I forgot I had it. And this is killer funk, raw funk. Honestly, I'm not it could be sacrilege to say I'm not really a big James Brown guy, honestly. I like some, but this has a James Brown kind of aesthetic going on, but I like it a lot more. Gritty guitar, upbeat, soulful, great music. Highly recommended. And I know there are some record store day, or not record store days, but recent pressings of some of his albums. I don't know if they're collections or individual albums. I don't know if it's the same music as on this one, but this is really good. Dyke and the Blazer. So if you like funk, go for this one. Came out on BGP, and I think this was issued in 2007. Dyke and the Blazers, We Got More Soul. Look for that one. A few more to go. Here's a Pharaoh Sanders live at Antibes, 1968 on the Alternative Fox label. This has, the lineup is Lonnie Liston Smith, Norman Jones, and Majib Shabazz. One long track on each side, and I think it doesn't say on the back what songs they are, but on the sticker, the songs are actually Venus, and the creator has a master plan. It was originally recorded on the radio, I think, in France. It's not the greatest recording, but it's still pretty good. I'm not a sound snob. I guess I have a term if it sounds good enough, and it's good. It's good. Don't get me wrong, but if you have really high sound standards, this might not be your thing. But Pharaoh is the man, and I remember this was out for a while and I wanted to get it. So yeah, Pharaoh Sanders. Here's one a friend gifted me. This is called Ocean. Flute music through Larkin. The title and the flute almost tell you exactly what this is. This is meditative solo flute music by this cat here. His name's Larkin. Yeah, it says, out of the sounds of the sea and space comes the music of a solo flute merging, floating on the waves of a new dance. So this guy Larkin plays flute, and there's some synthesizer in here as well. Beautiful cover. Thanks to my buddy who picked this up for me. And last LP is just the reissue, not just, but the Song for Biko reissue, Johnny Dyani. We all know him and love him. Would never find an original of this, and I don't care, as you know, about originals as much as other people. But yeah, that name, the album stands for itself, Song for Biko on Steeplechase. And I just want to quick show some CDs that I've picked up recently. I still get a CD kind of here and there when I get that feeling for the car. So this one is Naxatras. See that? They're a modern day Greek, maybe you would call them a like kind of a progressive psychedelic band. Maybe those labels would apply. They're a trio. Really good. They have like 3 or 4 albums. They jam, but it's well composed jamming. There's vocals in English. Really perfect for the car for on the highway, in a lone highway. Just really nice music. Naxatras is that. This is their first album. It came out in 2015. There's a lot of these good Greek bands that I have been sort of exposed to, and this is one of them. Another CD recently is this Kin Ping Meh. I just don't know how you actually say that. They were a German progressive band, but more on the rock side of prog. You know, there's not a lot of meandering and songs about kings and queens and demons and wizards. Nice record, this or nice CD. This has some bonus tracks too, so if you know them, or if you don't, this is good. Listen to it. This originally came out in '71 on the Brain Records label. And then the last CD, I just got this with this recent order. Embryo, live '71 in Bremen, on the outstanding Garden of Delights label. Embryo records are very hard to find. Yeah, so Embryo is amazing, and I have one of their LPs, and I think another CD. But yeah, this is really good, and or I haven't listened to it yet. What am I talking about? But I know it's going to be good. And then Garden Delights, their booklets are very promotional for all their other products, because they have these pictures of all their other albums, and you can just sit here and like stare at the album covers and decide what else you want to buy. But yeah, that's it. I just want to do a quick one of some updates. It's fun for me to share, and I love to get thoughts on whatever I showed, like what's similar, what else you think I like, because it's a never-ending quest. We're all junkies, and we always need something else to fill up the needle. So yeah, thanks for everybody for watching. Taking time out of your day, and we'll see you again soon. All right, later.